Thursday of this week we'll have our basketball opening press conference. We don't have the exact time yet for that, but Philip will send that out. The press conference will actually be in the annex over because the part of
That's right.
Those interviews will take place in the annex. And if you haven't gotten any press passes yet for basketball season, Philip today after Coach Sweet's press conference.
Okay, good morning. Good to get back home. And looking forward to getting back in the Valley this week. Proud of our team for how they played on the road this year, especially how we finished up this past week. Next up for us is Maryland, and the mentality is exactly the same. And this is the biggest game of the year. That's kind of been our mentality all year, and nothing changes. The formula is exactly the same. We've got to continue to prepare with purpose, and we'll have great effort with technique and all-in commitment. That's what we talk about all the time, and these guys have done a good job of buying into that. Offensively, obviously they suffered a lot of injuries, but I'll tell you what, I'm very impressed with what they did this past week in just a few days in trying to put it all together and take another guy and insert him in at quarterback from the linebacker position. But you know, they had a good plan, and I expect them to be even better this week. You know, now that they will have had 2 weeks to really get number 31 ready to go. But they ran a lot of zone read, speed option, and a lot of screens, took some shots. So, you know, there's a lot of Utah motion. So they'll do some things that can cause problems. We'll have to do a good job and play a very smart defensive football game, and because there's definitely going to be some unknowns going into this game, just because of the situation. But their offensive line is very solid. Running backs are good. Ford's been a very productive player for them. 44 is very capable. They got 3 good wideouts. Number 1 is I think second in the league in all-purpose yards, Diggs. He's a really good football player. They're going to try to get him the ball a lot of different ways. He's the guy who can really make things happen for him. He's a punt returner, kick returner, and just overall a very good player. So got a good tight end. It's hurt us, seems like, every year. 89. He's made a play on us, and we'll have to do a good job with him. Defensively, probably as good as we've played. I mean, this is a very good defensive football team. We've got a new coordinator. They're 11th in the country in total defense. They lead our league in sacks. You know, very good up front, as good as we played. Bolano, I can't believe he's still there. I mean, he's been there for like 10 years. 72 is a really good football player. High motor, plays the game, you know, just how you want everybody to play. Tough. Leads the league in tackles for loss, seems like every year, and it's no different this year. So just a very productive group up front, very active in the linebacker position. That they're mostly a 3-down type of defense, but they're usually 4 guys on the line. They usually stand 1 up. Sometimes they'll stand 2 up. You know, 52 and 47 and 6, and I think 53 is going to step in for number 9 now that he's out. And you know, 9 was out last year. 53, I think, had 12 tackles against us. So he's a very capable player as well, and they're very good in secondary. But 3 is in secondary. Got some big, strong guys that run well, and you know, special teams has been a big part of this game. When we look back at just last year, special teams was a big factor, and you know, we'll have to do a good job. Again, Diggs kid is a very dangerous return guy that we'll have to contain. But the thing for us is just trying to continue to improve and continue to learn to be consistent performers. That's what we're trying to do here as a program and as individual players. But I think we've got a special opportunity this week to set the home winning record. I think that would be you know, a great record to be a part of. And our guys, I think, are excited about that opportunity. So, you know, I'm proud of the consistency that we've been able to play with here at home in particular, and a big part of that is our fans. You know, over this run that we've had here at Death Valley, I'll tell you, the life has come back into this stadium, and our fans have been a huge part of it. I mean, I can just think of win after win after win where, I mean, the crowd has been awesome, and it's a big factor. So, you know, really hope we'll have another great crowd this week. I'd be surprised if we didn't. It's homecoming. There's a lot of great things that go along with homecoming. Look forward to this week every year and kind of driving through campus and seeing the students work and just the energy that comes from the youth, you know, on the campus. I love that every single year. So look forward to hopefully getting out, maybe going and visit all the students building floats maybe tomorrow night sometime, and we'll participate in Tigerama on Friday. I always look forward to that. And 3:30 kick on Saturday. We need the stadium rocking and try to play our best game to this point. With that, I'll take the questions.
Talk about the quarterback situation. How do you guys approach that as you try to scheme it?
Well, as I was saying, we're going to have to be smart and you know, really do a good job in just understanding how we apply our system. Because we'll probably see some different things, but just based on all we can really base it on is what we saw last week against Georgia Tech. And you know, like I said, they do a lot of things that can present problems for you if you're not sound. They ran a lot of zone read, a lot of Utah, a lot of screens, play action. You know, the quarterback did a good job of you know, running the ball. You could tell he was kind of feeling his way a little bit from a passing game standpoint, but he's capable. He's very capable. Made a couple of nice throws. Made a few he'd probably like to have back. But again, you're talking about a freshman, you know, in about 3 days getting ready to play. It's not like he's practiced quarterback all fall camp. You know, and I was personally very impressed with the coordination of it. You know, they had a lot of motions and timing and snap counts, and I mean, all that ain't easy to do now. And they didn't have a lot of mistakes. So you know, I think they'll be better this week. You know, with just another week to kind of, you know, get him ready to perform. But they've got good people and good backs, solid up front, and they got plenty of guys that are capable of hurting if you're not sound. So for us, it's just really about, you know, being able to apply our defense to, you know, formation. You know, we're not going to see anything I don't think that we've seen somewhere along the way, unless they just completely change. But I don't think they'll do that. You know, we just got to continue to play good, sound defense.
Is Ellington on pace to return, or are you going to just take it easy there to the grass to make sure it's 100%?
Yeah, well, he is on pace to return. We're expecting to do a little bit more today. Felt pretty good this morning, but you know, again, we're not going to force him into action. If he's ready to play, he'll play, and if he's not, then we'll go with those other guys. Those guys are more than capable of playing winning football for us. Certainly, if he's good to go, he'll go. And I expect him to do it.
And what do you think the theory has been the last few games? These defenses playing so much man coverage.
You know, I guess just trying to force the action a little bit. You know, try to. But to be honest with you, our ability to run the football a little bit has really helped us in that regard. You know, I don't know. It's just what they do. I mean, people are who they are, and you know, they're not going to necessarily just change from week to week. They have a philosophy that they do. And you know, they just apply it to the next opponent and hope that they can execute it. But ultimately, it just comes down to, you know, winning matchups. You know, we felt like going into the game last week that there was going to be some opportunities presented, and if we could hit on them, then we could have some big plays, and we did. So you know, that's credit goes to the players for that. They did a great job up front protecting. You know, Tyler threw the ball beautifully, and the receivers finished plays. So, you know, and our guys just made plays, you know, on their guy. A couple of times they had pretty good position, but you know, again, we won the matchup. But that's, you know, that's what they've done all year, regardless of who they play. So it's not like they just decided to do that against Clemson. But they've had success. They're just trying to force the action, maybe create a turnover, get pressure, and worked out good for us.
They have Clemson and Florida State are combined 16-2 this year. The rest of the division is 16-20. That divide, is that just a product of recruiting results translating to on-field production? What is that a testament to, that there's not so much parity this year?
Yeah, you know, I mean, I know Florida State's recruited well. I think we've recruited well. You know, I'm just focused on Clemson. I'm just trying to build this into the best program that we can be, trying to, you know, compete for this conference consistently. That's really all my focus is. I mean, everybody else, I mean, you know, they got to figure out those issues themselves. But you know, the league has kind of beat each other up a little bit. And for whatever reason, you know, we've just been a lot of back and forth in this league. You know, look at what happened last week, you know, with NC State. I mean, Virginia, I think, lost 6 in a row. And, you know, they go into Raleigh and hang 30-something points on them. So you know, it's crazy. You really can't explain that other than it's college football. And you got young people, you got to come ready to play. You don't come ready to play, you get beat. And that's why I'm proud of our guys. Is they've learned how to win. And it starts with your mindset, a mentality, you know, a belief, you know, preparation. Again, I'm just focused on Clemson, just trying to make this best team we possibly have this year.
Have you thought about the realm of emotion, though, if something happens in Blacksburg on Thursday night, how that could totally change the mindset going into Saturday, even more so?
I mean, you know, that's, again, that we don't control that, and we really have not gotten very emotional about things we don't control. I think when you get emotional about that kind of stuff, then that's when you can have issues. And what we've tried to preach to these guys is focus on the things that you control. You know, external issues are distractions. And so just focus on those things. And what are those things? Well, it's our daily preparation, our commitment, you know, our execution. Those are the things that we control, our performance, and attention to details. And so that's what our guys are focused on. You know, hey, Florida State beats Virginia Tech on Thursday night. Nothing changes for Clemson. You know, we got a game to win, regardless. And regardless of what happens with that, we've got a ton of opportunity out there. And we're trying to be the best we can be. And as we've said all year, I mean, that's our goal, is to be the best that we can possibly be. And that's not going to change regardless of what happens Thursday night. Virginia Tech wins. Okay, well, we've got a ball game to win. Nothing changes. That shouldn't impact our performance one bit. So if it does, then you're never going to be consistent like you need to be. And so that's really all we talked about. We don't really pay much attention to that. Obviously, everybody will be watching because it could impact you know, your standing in the conference. But you know, in regards to this game, you know, it has nothing to do with it.
Quarterback Taj the other day said that winning now, he alluded to thought that there might be style points might be necessary to enhance yourself. Was he speaking out of school? Was he mistaken? Or is there some sense that you really have to go out and play very well and just punish people?
Well, I just think that you want to play the best that you possibly can be. I think that what he's probably talking about is it's November, and you know, you're coming to the end of the race here, and you want to be playing your best football. I think that's what he's talking about. You don't want to be stumbling to the finish line. You want to play great football in the month of November, because that's what people are making decisions on right now. And again, you're trying to be the best that you possibly can be. You know, you want to play well. You don't want to be sloppy. You played 9 games, you know, and that was the disappointment for us last year. Is we were whatever 8-1, just like we are now. But then we went 1-2, you know, and didn't play very well. sloppy in a couple of ball games, turnovers, all that kind of stuff. Consistently plays. And this year we just have improved along the way, and we want to keep that trend going. So I don't know about style points other than just, we just want to play good football. So when people watch Clemson, they come away from it saying, you know what, man, that's good football. Those guys have improved, they've gotten better. Some people maybe saw you early in the season, now they're seeing you late. We just want to put a good product on the field. And that's really our focus is just making Clemson the best it can be.
And then how much of that, you can quantify to a point, but just your sense, how much of that is as a result of how well he's played? Because a year ago, if he had 3 interceptions in a game, statistically that was, oh my God.
Yeah.
This past week, he had 3 interceptions. You could argue that one of them maybe wasn't his fault. The other one he probably shouldn't have thrown.
Well, on paper, it looks the same.
Yeah.
But it ain't the same. It's not like he just threw it to a guy. We had a couple of those last year down the stretch. We just threw it to a guy, or we're down there at Georgia Tech and we got a guy wide open for a touchdown. We throw a fade ball, and just completely just bad plays. Those picks, the one was a Hail Mary. We're trying to make him take a shot right before the half. That just was a harmless interception, if there can be one. And got a good stat for News, got a tackle on the stat column. And the other 2 were actually very good reads, great plays by them. Not bad throws, just great plays. I mean, the one to Cooper down the sideline, man, that DB, he's covering the post. I mean, it's wide open for a touchdown. Yeah, you can say, all right, well, maybe you should have back shouldered that ball a little bit more. But if you go and you look at what the quarterback sees, he sees a touchdown. And he puts that ball right here. And had he seen a guy over the top, he would have back shouldered that ball. But that guy was gone with the post. And he just made a great speed turn. And Coop didn't see it. And we grade Coop down a little bit because the guy took the ball from him.
Yeah,
now Coop didn't see him, but that ball's either got to be incomplete or caught. We can't let the guy out compete for the ball there, but it kind of shocked Cooper. And so that's a great play. And then the one over on our sideline, he just didn't put quite enough air on the ball. And but not a bad read, not a bad play, not a bad decision. Just sometimes they make good plays, and that's really what those 2 were. So whole different deal from where we were last year as far as his decision making. That it?
Anybody got anything else?
Everybody's got time to go vote then.
I got one for you.
All right.
ESPN Game Day, to promote their show, they do promos with various college coaches, seen Rick and Bob Stoops and various ones. I'm wondering have they approached you about doing any kind of a commercial with them? And if they have not yet, is that an advantage for those coaches who get asked to do promos on Saturday leading up to that game?
I think that it's good exposure for them. Definitely ESPN is the mothership. So I think anytime that you have an opportunity to get national exposure for your team, you try to take advantage of those opportunities when you can. But it doesn't have anything to do with the game. I think the best exposure is winning on Saturday. I think that's the best exposure we can have. But no, I've gotten no calls from ESPN at this point.
What do you think about the job that Spencer Shue is doing in the middle of break and 11 tackles Saturday? It seems like he's solidified that position somewhat in correlation with improving the game.
Playing great. He really is. He's playing great, fast, physical, knows exactly what we're doing. He's done a great job of lining everybody up, and he's really brought a lot of energy and a lot of toughness. He's performing at a high level. He was our player of the game, as you said there. So really, really pleased with his performance.
If that continues, would you consider, just say it continues the rest of the year, moving Stephon in the spring to another position?
Well, that would be something we think about. I mean, that's all spring stuff. Right now, Stephon we need him right where he's at. Tig Willard's playing great, but when we get to spring, it's all about who's the best 11. And, you're always trying to figure that out. Who's it going to be? You're losing Tig, you're losing Carico. So those are two guys that have played a ton of football for us that we go on. So, okay, do we move Stephon, do we move Shuey? Somebody beat those guys out. I mean, there's no lifetime contracts around here. I mean, you got to perform, period, the end. Tell guys that all the time. So, Shuey, he plays great. That doesn't mean he's guaranteed being the guy in the spring. The other guys will have something to say about that. So everybody has to compete, perform, and continue to play at a high level. But if you got your two best guys at one position, if they are the two best guys, certainly you consider moving somebody. But in spring, just get your best 11. Who are they? Who's your best 22? And then go from there. And a lot of times you cross-train guys. We do that on offense, we do that on defense. But where we are right now, we got them right where they need to be based on our personnel.
Talk about DeAndre's just steadiness. I mean, he set a touchdown record last week. He's on the brink of setting another record. Just the way he seems to game in and game out, you can count on him, you can rely on him. He seems like he's about as level as they come.
Well, it just, if you go back and you track Luke Hopkins' career from Central Rec to Edwards Middle to Daniel High to where he is, it's the exact same story. He's just a great player. He's been incredibly consistent his entire life, and he's made the adjustment every level that he's gone to. He's made that adjustment here, mentally, physically. He's always had the talent and skill, but the thing to me that makes him great is he's such a great competitor. I mean, he is a great competitor. Loves it, loves to play, loves to practice, loves to catch the ball, loves to just win. And he's a team guy. He's very unselfish. He doesn't say a whole lot, but he just has a ton of confidence. And just really proud of the season he's put together, the career he's put together, and all the records and awards and all that stuff is well deserved because he's worked really, really hard. It has not come easy. He has worked his tail off in developing himself mentally and physically.
Thank you very much, Coach.